Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's so nice to see you again. Thank you for joining me and for watching my last video. If you haven't been here before, I'm Justin the gardener. I'm a lifelong gardener. I trained at the age of 16 for 2 years, 2 full years. Well, it should have been 3 years, but it was condensed into 2 without a summer break, as most places seem to have. So I was sent off on a work placement for that. So I got my qualifications and then I went on into the gardening industry, and I haven't really left since then. Even though I did try to escape, it kind of brought me back, and that's how I ended up at the Old Manor House. So yeah, we're going to look at the Old Manor House first, and we're also going to pop over to Brodsworth Hall, which is about an hour away from here. So I'll do a little introduction to that after this clip, these few clips. And so I think you'll find the walled garden, the Old Manor House, looking really pretty at the moment. There's lots of colour. Things tend to be more yellow at this time of year, redder and reds. But hopefully that in a couple of weeks we'll have our open day for the National Garden scheme. Things will be looking a bit brighter, because I've been making a lot of effort. I've been feeding the garden. I've been doing a lot of watering, because at the moment we have a watering restriction, so we're not allowed to use hose pipes. So I've been using a tap and watering cans. My goodness, I must have lifted hundreds of them. But I say I'm determined. Gardeners are always determined to make the gardens look nice. And I think hopefully we'll find it does look nice. And it's looking very pretty for this time of year. So we'll go over there now, and I'll do a little introduction to Brodsworth Hall in a moment.
Justin walks where lilies grow, a tender heart the world won't know, hands of care, his touch so light, he whispers love to plants at night. In his secret garden, dreams take flight, where roses bloom and the sun ignites. Justin the gardener, heart so true, a world of green, his sky of blue. He hums a tune, the sparrows hear their songs weave soft in the air so clear. Each blade of grass, each leaf unfurls under his care. The earth still twirls. He speaks to roots, to seeds unseen, a quiet magic in the green. In his secret garden, dreams take flight, where roses bloom and the sun ignites. Justin the gardener, heart so true, a world of green, his sky of blue. The ivy climbs, the violets sigh, he tends with love, the days drift by, the robin watches, the petals gleam. Justin's garden, a living dream.
enjoyed that little segment. It was very nice to share that with you. And did you notice Benny? Of course, you're seeing Benny. He follows me absolutely everywhere, and he's very, very vocal and needs lots of attention because he's a Bengal cat, so he's a little bit different to other cats. You see by his markings, are much more like a lion, but he can be quite ferocious. But when he's around me, he's very, very soft and affectionate. And he can't leave me alone, which is quite funny. So yeah, so next thing we're going to go and look at is Brodsworth Hall. Brodsworth Hall is about an hour away from where I live here. It's in South Yorkshire, and it's a very, very grand house, Italianate style, and it was built in the Victorian era. And 30 years ago, it was rescued by English Heritage. It was in a derelict state. It was falling down. The interiors of the house were preserved as they were found. So if the wallpaper was peeling off, they glued it into that position, left it there. The carpets were taken out, frozen. All the creatures that were living in them, that were eating them, were destroyed. And they put the carpets all back, faded, moth-eaten, threadbare. And it tells a really good story, actually. So if you get a chance to visit, I would recommend it. Now, the gardens are different because, of course, I don't think people really want to go and look at a neglected garden, abandoned garden, because it wouldn't be much to see. So it'd be a bit sad looking. But what they have done is restore it to the period of the house. The main features you'll notice in the garden is the formal area with the fountain and all the bedding and stuff that they've been planting out, and very well done to all the gardeners there and the volunteers. I know there's a lot of them to keep it looking absolutely pristine. It is superb, and I hope you'll enjoy looking. You notice there's 30 in the flower beds either end of the formal area. It's also the informal areas too, which are beautiful as well, and I borrowed one or two ideas from there, especially with the canna lilies and bananas, because I'm thinking, oh, I just like the shape of the leaf. It gives a bit more interest to the garden, especially at home. So I hope you enjoy watching that, and you'll appreciate it for what it is. It's not everybody's cup of tea, formal planting, but it is true to the area and is superbly done. hope you enjoyed watching the gardens at Brodsworth Hall. It's a very, very stunning garden to look at visually. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is actually beautiful in its own right. It's strictly done to the standards of the Victorian times, so it's absolutely authentic as it would have been in those days. And the idea in those days it was to impress your visitors to the house. It's a private house. His family would have lived there, invited guests around for grand balls, dinner parties and all that business. They've had a really grand time, and all the visitors have been, oh, isn't it marvellous what they've done, and aren't they wealthy? Which is how society worked in those days. If you're amongst the elite, the rest of us, well, we would have just been looking after the gardens and cleaning the house, wouldn't we? So anyway, on that note, I'm going to round off. Next video will be coming soon. We're visiting my garden here again. See how it's looking with the addition of the banana trees and cannas and a lot of plant food and a lot of watering. And we're also going to be visiting a beautiful walled nursery I went to a few weeks ago as well, Houghton's Wall Nursery, and that was featured on Gardener's World a few weeks ago. So that's been well worth watching and seeing. It's a great place. So anyway, thank you for watching again. Like and subscribe. I've forgotten the spiel. It does help the channel grow, and the more you like and subscribe, the more YouTube recommends the channel, and it helps things go along a lot better. So anyway, I'll see you next time, and very, very happy gardening.
In his secret garden.